Hi guys. So I'm going to read the prologue to you. It's pretty short here, but there's a couple things I like to point out. I'm also going to demonstrate my inner voice as we're reading as well. You're going to see that when I show you my book, that I'm also I have annotations that I've made over the years that I have read the book, and every year that I read this, I usually do add more annotations than what I had before because my mind is always thinking about something new as I'm reading. So the prologue of the story is something we shouldn't ever skip over. It's going to give us important information. It might be a flashback. It could be a flash forward. It could be one of the narrators or one of the characters speaking about something. But it's important to read. Okay, so don't ever skip over it if you see a book with a prologue. So as I'm reading, I want you to maybe pause this video if you find something that you want to write down in your book, some inner voice that you're thinking, maybe an annotation mark you want to make. Now remember that the bookmark we made Wednesday together in class, you don't have to stick to those annotation marks. You can write anything that you're thinking or feeling or questioning or wondering or reacting to as we're reading this book, okay? It could really be anything. It's whatever your inner voice is telling you as we read. So here we go. The first week of August hangs at the very top of summer, the top of the livelong year, like the highest seat of a Ferris wheel when it pauses in its turning. So you'll see here that I already marked this as figurative language, that this is actually a simile. So what they're doing, the narrator here, is comparing the first week of August and how it's like if you've ever been on a Ferris wheel, the wheel stops turning right when you hit the top, okay? The weeks that come before are only a climb from balmy spring, and those that follow a drop to the chill of autumn. But the first week of August is motionless and hot. And it's curiously silent, too, with blank white dawns and glaring noons and sunsets smeared with too much color. Often at night there is lightning, but it quivers all alone. There is no thunder, no relieving rain. These are strange and breathless days, the dog days, when people are led to do things they are sure to be sorry for after. So there's a couple different things here that my inner voice is telling me. The first is that we're getting a lot of description about weather here. That's got to be intentional from the author. So you'll notice that I marked that as my inner voice in weather, like, maybe that's something I'm going to want to look out for as we continue to read. The second thing my inner voice was telling me as I'm reading is, we just had an August that was just like this, you guys. We had no thunder, no relieving rain. There were white dawns, glaring noons, sunsets smeared with too much color. We had an August just like that. So that's something that I can connect to as a reader. Then the last thing my inner voice is talking to me about is this part right here. When people are led to do things they are sure to be sorry for after. To me, that seems like the author is really giving us a heavy dose of foreshadowing, okay? One day at that time, not so very long ago, 3 things happened, and at first there appeared to be no connection between them. At dawn, May Tuck set out on her horse for the wood at the edge of the village of Tree Gap. She was going there as she did once every 10 years to meet her 2 sons, Miles and Jesse. Now, my inner voice circled this part. 10 years. That's a long time to see your kids or not see your kids for every 10 years. Event 2. At noontime, Winnie Foster, whose family owned the Tree Gap Wood, lost their patience at last and decided to think about running away. And event 3. At sunset, a stranger appeared at the Foster's gate. He was looking for someone, but he didn't say who. Kind of creepy, right? No connection, you would agree, but things can come together in strange ways. The wood was at the center, the hub of the wheel. All wheels must have a hub. A Ferris wheel has one, as the sun is the hub of the wheeling calendar. Fixed points they are, and best left undisturbed, for without them, nothing holds together. But sometimes people find this out too late. So I love this last paragraph of the prologue. There's so much my inner voice is telling me. The first is that it's rich with figurative language. This description of the wheel. We see that wheel 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you guys. In one paragraph, we see the word wheel. So to me, wheel may be a potential symbol. I don't know of what yet, But if the author is repeating something like that so often in this paragraph, it's like they're hitting us over the head saying like, hello, the wheel's going to be important some way, okay? Now, the other thing that my inner voice is telling me is right here. Fixed points they are, and best left undisturbed, for without them, nothing holds together. But sometimes people find this out too late. Again, to me, that's like, whoa, major foreshadowing, okay? So what you're going to do now is you're going to continue with this lesson. You're going to fill out a chart about these 3 events and what happens in them. And then you're going to have a chart where you're going to need to pick one point where your inner voice was talking to you some point in this prologue. Tell me what page number it was. And then in 3 to 4 sentences, what was your inner voice telling you at that time? Make sure you submit the assignment when you're done. And on Monday, we'll read chapter 1.